Hi guys, it's John here, and this is a review and comparison of the brand new Gamesir Nova Lite and the Gamesir Nova. So the Nova Lite starts at about £30, which is about $25, and the Nova starts at £40, or about $36. So let's compare these two side by side and see what the main differences are between them. We'll test out all the buttons, then do some gaming tests and see which one of these might be right for you. So there are some subtle differences between the two. We'll just run through those now as we go through the specs of both controllers. So the Lite here comes with a ABXY layout for the Xbox, and the standard Nova comes with the Switch layout, which is the BAXY, as you can see. That is reversible on both, so I wouldn't worry too much about that. They both have Hall effect sticks, which means you're gonna have no problems with any stick drift. We have analog triggers on the Lite, but we don't have those. We just have digital ones on the standard Nova. We do have rumble motors in both, and the standard Nova does actually also have gyro controls. Battery in the Nova Lite is 600 mAh, which is half the size of the battery in the Nova at 1200 mAh. The other difference is that the Nova does come with mappable back buttons here, as you can see, whereas the Lite does not have those. Nova Lite is available in white or purple, and the Nova in white or teal. And the only other difference, which we'll see shortly, is that the Nova does have RGB lights around the analog sticks themselves. So let's get these open now and see what we get inside the box. Okay, so this is what you get inside the Lite. You literally just get the controller itself. There's nothing else inside the box. With the standard Nova, you do get a little bag here, USB-A to USB-C. Get your Gamesir sticker and a manual as well, which we'll put up on the screen a bit later. Also included in with the Nova is a little carry case type thing here, so you can actually take your controller out and about with you without it getting damaged if you so wish. You can see here with the Lite, I have got the purple coloured one and the white version of the Nova. They're very similar in weight. The Lite weighs 205 grams, whereas the Nova weighs 217, so you're not going to really notice too much difference between them. You can see here the layout of the buttons. Like I said, we've got a Switch layout here on the Nova and an Xbox layout here on the Lite. The other differences here, as you can see, we've got a physical Gamesir button to turn the controller on and off on the Lite, whereas here we just press and hold the home button. We've also got a screenshot button here on the Nova, which is just here on the Lite. It's just a very slightly different layout. So the analog sticks are exactly the same on both. We do have the Hall effect sticks, which is very nice. We don't have any interchangeable parts to raise or lower the length or put anything on top of these though. They do have a nice little grip area on here, so there shouldn't be any slippage there. D-pads, you can feel it's the same sort of membrane D-pad on both. Let's just compare the face buttons here. They feel nice on both controllers. I'd say they're probably using the same internals for those as well. The only main difference here are the other buttons available. So you can hear on the Nova, very clicky buttons, whereas on the Lite, you get the more spongy feeling buttons here. Obviously that's the difference you're paying here. You're paying for a more premium product here with the standard Nova. Looking at the top of the controller, we can see here the USB-C charging port. That's for your 600 mAh battery on the Lite and 1200 on the Nova. Bumper buttons, still the same on both. The main difference here is with the triggers. So here you can see on the Nova, you just get the digital triggers, whereas on the Lite you do get analog triggers. So that's quite a big difference there when it comes to triggers. So if you do need analog triggers, then straight away you know that the Lite is the one to go for. So on the back of the controllers, we can see here the mappable buttons here on the back of the Nova, but the Lite does not have those at all. But we do get this nice grip on both, which is good for those sweaty gaming moments you may be having. Right, so we'll just put the manual for the Nova on the screen. It's very similar to the Lite when you're programming buttons, so you can use this for setting your turbo functions, etc. on the Lite as well. Okay, here we are in the Gamepad Tester, and we'll just go through the buttons and make sure they all work okay. So you can see there are no problems at all with the buttons. The main difference, like I said before, you've got those analog triggers here on the Lite compared to just digital triggers on the Nova. So we'll just check for any dead zones now. I'll skip through this so you don't have to watch me do this, but we'll make sure we can get 2 green circles on both controllers. And as you can see, absolutely perfectly fine on both controllers here. Okay, so we'll just go through some of the program that you can do on these controllers. First is the turbo function. So if you want to have one of your buttons set to turbo, just hold it down and tap the M button, and that will turn the turbo on. If you turn it back off again, you just press the button and tap M, and that turns it back off. Now the other feature on the Nova is obviously these back buttons here. So what you need to do, if you want to program one of those, you press and hold M, you tap the corresponding back button you want to press, and then whichever button you want it to assign it to, so let's say the A button. Then you press the back button again, and now when we're pressing this, the A button is lighting up. Now to remove that, you just press and hold M, tap the back button, tap it one more time, and that disables it completely. So we'll go through that with the other side as well. So we'll press and hold M, tap the right back button now. Now let's say we want to do left on the D-pad. Press the back button again, and now when we press the back button, we're doing left on the D-pad. So you can program it to any of the other buttons. That includes the clicks of the sticks. I have tried that. So even though in the instructions it doesn't actually, so you can actually program it to that if you wish. So again, to clear, press and hold M, tap it, and then tap it one more time. So if you want to switch around your A and B, this does work on both controllers. All you do is hold M and the B button. Get a nice bit of feedback there on the Nova, and now you can see my A button is now my Xbox layout here, and my B, X and Y are the same as well. So they've been reversed, and to go back, you just press and hold, and it switches back, and that works the same on the light as well. Okay, concentrating a bit more on the Nova now with the LED lights. If you want to change these, you've got 6 different modes you can use. That's monochrome, breathing, fantasy, rainbow, radar, or off. Press and hold M, and then we're going to use the left analog stick to move left and right to select our effect. You can see this is the rainbow mode. I'm going to press it again. Now we've gone on to the breathing mode here. As you can see, it's sort of pulsating. Here we are on the standard mode where it's just constantly lit up. And here is the monochrome mode where you just get it lighting up as you move with the sticks itself. So here we are on the fancy mode. And when you're on this, you can then press and hold M and use the D-pad to increase or decrease the speed. So you can see here that's cycling through a lot quicker now. If we go to the left, you can see that will slow down. So when you're in this mode, you can actually change the color of the LEDs if you want to just have a certain color. To do that, you press and hold M, and then you can use the right analog stick to choose the color that you want to set. So let's say you want a yellow color. You can now have yellow for your analog RGBs, which is quite nice. And again, you've got obviously the whole rainbow of colors to choose from here. We go for a blue color. We've now got blue as our RGB lights, which is quite nice. You can also increase and decrease the brightness, as you can see here, holding M and going up on the left analog stick, and going down here to decrease the brightness if it's too bright, where it goes completely off on the lowest setting. But yeah, it's quite some fun things you can do with the RGBs on the Nova. Right, so we're going to do some Xbox Remote Play here just to see how the controllers function and compare with each other. So we're just going to play some Orcs Must Die 3 and see how we get on.
It's way more intense than the usual training sessions.
This is not part of your training. There's something different about these new rifts. Every war mage in the Order is investigating.
Finally, we get to be real heroes like Maximilian.
I will settle for you two staying alive, keeping the orcs out of the rift.
Enemies are preparing to breach one of our gates. They've broken through our gates. Here they come.
That right there should be extra credit. They'll never see this one.
Right, so there we are. That is the Gamesir Nova Lite and Nova. So let me know what your thoughts are down below. Quick roundup of both controllers. They're pretty much the same layout wise. We've just got the addition of the analog triggers here on the Lite compared to just digital triggers here on the Nova. Other than that though, they're pretty much the same button and analog stick wise. We do have the added benefit of the RGB lights here on the standard Nova, whereas the Lite does not get that, sadly. We also have twice the battery life on the Nova compared to the Lite. So it may well come down to whether you prefer analog triggers or not. So if you do need analog triggers, you're going to have to go for the Lite out of these two. If you're not too worried about that, then the standard Nova is absolutely perfect for your needs. So let me know what your thoughts are down below. Which of these are you going to pick up, if any of them? Be sure to check out my other Gamesir videos. I've done the G8 recently and the X2S, so they're all worth checking out as well. I have put an affiliate link down below in the description if you want to pick either of these up. That just helps support the channel. And again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you again in the next video.